In this video, I'm gonna give you guys 7 things no one told me about the Philippines. The crazy thing is, I wasn't even supposed to be here this long. I ended up extending my visa, and the reason why is gonna lead me into my first point, which is the friendliness of the people. Now, growing up in Seattle, Washington, I know and went to school with a lot of Filipinos. Actually, some of my best friends are from the country. So I know that they're super friendly, super cool people, have a sense of humor, but I still didn't want to get my hopes up. I was thinking maybe they're cool over here in the States, but when I get to the actual country, it might be different. Plus, I was going to Manila, which is the capital, one of the most densely populated cities in the world. And as you guys know, larger cities tend to have less friendly, less open people due to the fast lifestyle, the time is money lifestyle. But when I arrived, I must say, even in Manila, even in the capital, the business hub, the people were super duper friendly. It actually exceeded my expectations, believe it or not. As I'm walking on the street, I've had people in mopeds and cars yell out, "Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, what's up?" I had multiple situations that happened when I was walking on the street. And before someone passed me by, they will put their fist out just to give a fist bump and then just keep it moving. So again, super friendly people, super open, very extroverted. I had a feeling that was going to be the case, but not to this extent, even in Manila. All of this leads me into my next point, which is so far from the places that I've been to, the Philippines is the most camera-friendly country. Now, prior to this, the most camera-friendly city I had been to was Johannesburg, South Africa, believe it or not. People there were super cool when it came to the camera. But when it comes to countries overall, oh, the Philippines wins hands down. Many times when I'm in other places and I'm filming, and I'm sure you guys see this on video, but people, they just stare. They don't really say anything, they just stare. But here, they don't ask, "What are you doing? What are you filming?" They just say, "What's your vlog?" or "What's your YouTube channel?" Also, many times, they'll just jump in the camera. You know, in other places, they're trying to jump out the camera. Here, they're trying to jump in the camera and say, "Hey, welcome to the Philippines," or whatever. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with many vloggers that are already here. Because I heard that, the Philippines has been filmed numerous times. So people here, they already expect it. They're already familiar with it. The Philippine YouTube genre is huge, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, again, the most camera-friendly country I've been to so far. Next up on the list, and this might surprise some people, but it's the fact that a lot of people speak English here. Now, I understand if you read about the history, why that's the case, but I'm surprised Spanish isn't spoken more because they were out here for 333 years or something like that. Granted, it is in their local language, Tagalog. Like, for example, the greeting, "Kumusta," which in Spanish is "Cómo está?" But getting back to the English, before coming, I heard that, hey, they speak it, but it's not that well. It's usually broken English, and not everyone speaks it. But I'll say, just from my experience traveling around to different islands, everyone speaks English, at least the vast majority, and they speak it very well, enough to where you can hold a decent conversation. And so that was great. I love going to places where I can communicate with the people because that makes the experience better. And so that was one thing that surprised me, but it was surprising based off of bad information that I received before visiting. Moving along on the list, we have the culture. Now, coming from an American perspective, I can see why a lot of people retire in the Philippines. For example, when you travel internationally, the vast majority of countries, their favorite sport is going to be soccer or football, what they call outside the US. Here in the Philippines, it's basketball. You're not going to see people walking around with soccer jerseys on. Most people, if they're walking around with a sports jersey, it's going to be an NBA team. I already talked about the English, so there's really no language barrier, not that much at least. In the US, we love barbecuing. Here, they love barbecuing too. Walking the streets of the Philippines, especially at night, all you're going to see is smoke. Smoke coming from the cars, and there's smoke coming from people barbecuing on the side. And last but not least, the politeness. It reminded me of being in the American South, where a lot of people say sir and ma'am, which was kind of throwing me off guard. I was like, man, I know I have a beard, but man, do I look that old? So all in all, these are surface level similarities, right? The Philippines, they have a lot of things they do differently than what's done in the US. All right, so again, these are all surface level similarities, but I would say definitely from the countries I've been to, this is one of the few that's really, I can really see some of the American influence. And I say this in a good way. Now for this next one, let me start off by saying that I didn't realize how serious it was when it came to foreign men going to the Philippines to find a woman, to find a partner to live the rest of their life with. I didn't know it was that serious. I mean, so much so that even my mother, when I told her I was going to the Philippines, asked me, hey, are you going to bring back a Filipino wife? So even my mom was aware of what goes down in the Philippines when it comes to this. I will say I can see why a lot of foreign men come here for that, because from the outside looking in, the women here seem very friendly. They have a sense of humor. You can take them to the Dave Chappelle comedy show. You can take them to the basketball game. Minimal language barrier, at least if you speak English. They have some nursing skills, so when you fall down, they'll be able to take care of you. So all in all, I can see why a lot of men go to the Philippines. Moving along, we just have 2 more on the list. The first one is the transportation system out here. Now, they have their own version of Uber, which is Grab. They have a metro. They have a rapid bus transit system. They have a lot of ways to get around. But some of the more fun and interesting ways are the jeepneys, which are the old American-style vehicles that you can ride in for, I think, like 10 cents or something. And also, probably the funnest way to get around is with the tricycles. I would say if you're over 6 feet, I wouldn't try this because it was pretty tight inside, but it's an experience. Oh boy, it's an experience. And last but not least, I recently did a video on this, and I didn't know that there was a tribe here called the Aitas, who are said to have been the first inhabitants of these islands. So it was interesting to go to the community and to see how they lived. And man, they were super friendly, very hospitable. Also, what I learned is that during the war in Vietnam, because these people were experts on jungle life and survival, they actually taught the American soldiers the skills and tactics to survive in the jungle. So definitely, if you're interested in knowing more about that, I recently did a video about it where I was guided all around the community, meeting everyone. But all in all, these are the 7 things, or I think it's 7, maybe 7 or 8, I don't know. But these are the things that no one told me about the Philippines before visiting. I had to learn and find out on my own, which is also a great thing, right? Sometimes it's fun and exciting for a little culture shock, for something to happen unexpectedly. And nothing wrong with that. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I think I may have 1 more video of the Philippines coming out. Maybe, we'll see. But I'm already planning the next trip, so stay tuned for that. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something new, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Deuces.